action. Spawning to the top left-hand side of the map, we're going to be starting with our blue Terran player. He's going to pause. So let's just wait a moment or two and get set to go back into this again in just a moment. Just wait it out, guys. Wait it out. Would he surprise that Bly didn't veto Dasan? Well, not really, because Bly loves kind of aggressive, crazy maps, right? So it does make sense for Bly to leave Dasan in. But I'm surprised he chose to get rid of, like, Frozen Temple. I'm surprised that he actually left, left Chick to get rid of the larger macro maps, like New Gettysburg and Apotheosis, because you can't really do any shenanigans on those maps. Same with Frost in a way as well. You know, I don't know. I feel as though Frozen Temple sort of suits Bly's style more. So I'm not really surprised that he didn't veto Dasan. I'm surprised that he vetoed Frozen over other things. So yeah, just a quick pause here, guys. Hopefully we get this sorted in just a moment. I'm not exactly sure what this issue is going to be. But hopefully we get this sorted out and we can resume in just a moment or two. So this is going to be game number 1 of this best of 3 series. As Go-Go is being called, so we're looking as though we're good to go back on into this now. Into action today. 3, 2, 1, and in game we are. Alright, so let's introduce our players. To the top left side, our blue Terran is going to be Chick, aka MSK, as we have quite literally a hatchery first coming down from our red Zerg player to the bottom right. Bly, a hatchery first in the sense that he's literally built a hatchery before a single drone here. 12 hatch on the gold base of his opponent. And Chick is immediately going to be under a lot of pressure here, a lot of crazy shenanigans going on by Bly. So, already, first series of the day and we're off to a fast-paced, wacky start. As Chick comes down, he immediately sees that hatchery building. And so now it is time for him to figure out what he wants to do against this. Does he bunker up on the low ground? Does he bunker on the high? You know, what is his plan exactly? Pulls his SCV back. Now, he is already going into double gas. So, setting up into double gas going to set himself off in such a way so that he is going to have the ability to go for a fast factory. Probably get a tank out nice and quickly as well. And we're just going to be seeing that Rax finishing in a moment or two. So, this 12 hatchery obviously kind of comes down super early. And Bly's going to have his spawn pool finishing, no gas, because he is just basically kind of going to rely on spine crawler production here at the front to be very aggressive. As we're going to be seeing those first spine crawlers begin to build, he has the minerals to build all 3 of them straight away. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. SCV coming down the ramp as well, just to confirm that's what this will be. And as we see, the factory is on the way up, right back as well. I like that, just making sure it's plenty, you know, it's really out of range of any spine crawlers anywhere in the near future. Continue to produce Marines as well. Obviously, these 3 spines are going to have a lot of DPS on them, so things like the depot is going to go down very swiftly. Now allow the Zerglings to come in, and that's why the bunker becomes very important, to make sure you've got a way to keep those, keep those Marines you're producing safe, and so on, as we see. MSK just going to pull back up to the ramp, and he's going to play it safe for now. He can pull SCVs for a little while to try and buy time for the depots if he needs them. As you can see those Marines jumping into the bunker. There's the factory, should be a tech lab on it, I imagine. I mean, nothing else to really do here other than just build up a siege tank. It's most likely, it's by far the best thing you can go for at this sort of point into the game. It's just going to see some spine crawlers poking away at the depots. And again, I mean, the depot goes down, then access is given to the main base. That's one of the powers of this proxy hatchery play. You know, you get into the main base with your Zerglings. Now, Bly hasn't taken gas because he never actually took a kind of a, because he didn't drone at all at the start of the game. He couldn't afford to take gas, so he doesn't have link speed. That might be something that hurts him later, but these spines, they're already going up this ramp. Then we see the Queen being targeted by the bunker. Zerglings coming in as well. SCVs are not going to be here in time to repair the bunker unless they can get a surround on it, and they do start to get there. So SCVs do begin to surround. Spine crawlers have burrowed now, though. Queen drops the transfuse on one of those spine crawlers as well, I believe. Maybe not actually. Maybe it was just the natural healing. As we see this bunker continue to be repaired, Chick continue to hold this. Bly is currently targeting down the bunker, which I don't think is the right decision. I think he needs to try and keep on getting a few more SCV kills. 11 killed so far. Siege tank is continuing to come up here. The thing is, if this siege tank comes out, MSK is still sort of alright. Oh, he lets his bunker fall, though. That's obviously not going to be a good thing for him. As now his barracks, his reactor is in range, so you can see just up his tank. It is in range of quite a lot here. You know, he can reach the spine crawlers, he can get those Zerglings, but can he really protect everything he needs to in time? Spines continue to advance forwards here. He needs to get rid of these ASAP. SCVs pull in once again, and keeping that bunker alive just a little while longer, even if it cost him more SCVs, could have really changed so much here, as we see that tank still struggling to get rid of these spine crawlers in a timely fashion. 7 SCVs remain, but mules will still stay in the game as well. As we'll see now, is actually nothing to produce to help out against this these Zerglings which surround the siege tank. MSK is going to lose his tank because he's out of money, but he did kill off every single spine crawler. So actually, this is maybe still somewhat recoverable. 4 workers down. We see down to 2 workers as the mine blows up a couple. Queen coming in as well. I guess MSK is actually just taking a little bit too much damage here. In fact, unfortunately, he has to type out again GSL. I mean, maybe that's exaggerating a little bit, but you know, it sort of feels like that. I mean, did he win GSL? I don't think he won GSL. He lost a life, right? But you know, when he did well in GSL, it was a long time ago, though. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's see what happens. Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to have Haas written on the name tags. Someone could have told me that, or maybe you guys did tell me, I didn't realize. Apologies, of course, this is not Haas playing. It is Chick, the Chinese Terran player, aka MSK. So apologies for that. Just didn't see it on my expert overlay in time in the last game. So apologies for that, guys, but let's go into game number 2. Let's introduce our players. So top right hand side of Galactic Process, our blue Terran player is going to be MSK. And down to the bottom left hand side, it's going to be our red Zerg player from Zero, no team at all, currently just representing #OnFire. It is going to be Bly. So as we set up into game 2 of this best of 3, we'll see a hatch gas pool this time. Much more standard. Build order out of our Zerg player. Sorry, my puppy's just come upstairs and he's looking at me. And he looks upset. Oh, dogs. Dogs, dogs, dogs. Ruining the cast once again. I'm not really ruining. So yeah, I mean, hatch gas pool coming in here from Bly. We're going to see some SCVs just repairing on up that SCV was getting damaged. But I'm just trying to be a little bit annoying right now. But, I mean, there's good micro out of MSK. He's not losing anything, as he shouldn't. I mean, if you lose something in this part of the game, like an SCV to drone scout, that's when you just start tilting. Because you're like, you know what, this is like the last thing that should be happening to me. We're just going to be seeing a Reaper expand coming up here. Stop that. Oh my god. It's amazing. I told my dad, hey, can you look after dogs today? Because I don't want them messing around during my cast. And he's like, okay. As soon as I start casting, oh, I'm going out. Look after the dogs. Like, oh my, like Jesus. It's incredible. Sometimes I really worry for the logic that runs through my families. And now these are going to keep on doing this. God damn it. Alright, so as we jump into game number 2, we're going to see this Reaper continuing to come across the map and have a little bit of a look to see what is going on. I'm going to be seeing the couple of Zerglings coming forwards and just trying to chase that down. So I'm just going to be seeing the Reaper taking a little bit of damage there. Overlord is looking overhead over at the Terran side of the map. Has beat a fast second racks from MSK, so looking towards a fast stim drop opening. As Reaper only picks up 1 kill there. Lots of Lings low in health. We can't finish off on any of them just yet. Now that Ling speed is going to be finishing up very soon. As Reaper gets a little bit surrounded there. So actually Bly gets a little bit of a head start in terms of heading across the map with these Lings. He's not going to do much over here. Bunker behind the mineral line as well is a very safe place to put it. Just make sure, lots of less surface area on it, etc. Very good against Zergling run-bys and so on. As we are going to be seeing that stim pack starting on up. So stim on the way. And again, we'll be looking for those 2 medevacs to come out here in the near future as the Lings come in. We're going to be getting an SCV kill already, so that's not so bad. 4 Marines moving forward once again. And we're just going to be seeing these Zerglings. Again, just looking to see if I can get anything done. I mean, again, 1 SCV kill already is quite nice. Loses the Ling there to the Marines. And again, just being a little bit of a nuisance right now. I mean, on the other side of things, in terms of what Bly has seen, he hasn't really seen all that much. He hasn't been in the main base. He doesn't know what build this is just yet. He does see plenty of Marines, so he knows it's not going to be Hellions. He could still be something like a siege tank, though, or like a Widow Mine drop into a siege tank. Or it could, of course, be the build that it actually is, which is this double Medivac stim drop, which is what is being set him into right now. Pneumatized Carapace is on the way. Double Evolution Chamber dropping down from Bly as well. As we see a Queen coming out towards the front, going to drop down a Creep Tumor to the left-hand side from Bly also, starting to push out onto the map. As Marines come in once more to defend those Zerglings, but they still get an SCV kill, so Bly again just slowly picking away at Chick throughout this game. You'll see +1 missile upgrades coming in for our Zerg player, so he is going to commit into a roach-based playstyle as the game goes on, as another SCV goes down trying to build this gas to the right-hand side. So more damage being done by Bly. I mean, that's only free, it's free workers he's picked off, but when you consider that free workers at this point is about 10% of the Terran economy, it does add up. So, that's something which Bly is definitely doing a very good job of here, just slowing his opponent down. And as he sees more and more Marines, it becomes more and more obvious that this is going to be something along the lines of a big kind of medevac drop with, with lots of Marines in it. You see Tech Lab onto the factory, so he's immediately going to go for tanks. So he's going to go for a tank-based follow-up. Something we saw, of course, Innovation doing a lot of during the Shoutcraft King's July event, during his fantastic run there. This tank-based follow-up is very aggressive, works very well on this map because of all of these ledges towards the third base that you can utilize. So if these rocks aren't taken down, Bly can find himself in a bit of trouble, because if tanks drop off down here, you've got a lot of Marines up here, them tanks are going to have the time of their lives. You're going to see Chick immediately turned away with these first two medevacs. Will Unload will get Creep Tumor at least, actually not even that, it gets cancelled, so still survives to the high ground. As these Marines unload, once again going to go and just have a little bit of a think as to where exactly they want to head on over to. And then we've seen the Marines just going to be, again, looking to see what's going on. We're going to see a scan comes down, and we're going to see Creep Tumors being taken down here. So a few Creep Tumors getting killed off, as we're going to be seeing Lings and Queens coming over to the left-hand side. We're going to be seeing the Marines moving forwards again. Targets 2 Queens immediately. That's a nice little pick off there by Chick. And that's the sort of moves that we want to see him making. Takes advantage of the positioning, just picks off 2 Queens. And he's going to be very content with that. Now back at home, he's still making Marines. Combat Shields is on the way up. He's got 2 tanks, so that's his follow-up set up, ready to go now. Behind it, a 3rd command center as well. And let's see if he can justify kind of his commitment here. Let's see if he can justify it with some damage done in the next few moments, because he is going to push across the map with this. He is going to just get set, ready to go. And these Zerglings on their own are not going to do very much. 1-1 has now finished. We're going to be seeing those Zerglings continuing to pull away. And again, those Marines continuing to just trade here as we see the Zerglings coming down in towards the center of the map once again. Another siege tank in a medevac continuing to come down towards the bottom left hand side. MSK just moving forward, is going to be looking to try and keep on clearing up here, as we're going to be seeing the siege tank dropping down, and the other one also coming across. And you see these Marines starting to work their way through these rocks. So he's actually going to take these rocks down himself. I would have preferred if he found an opportunity to drop up here, just so he has it. I mean, the tanks are still kind of on a ledge, right, or below a ledge, so it still has to go around to reach the tanks, which is nice. Let's see if Bly can defend this. Already these units moving up, stepping backwards as you would expect. Queen's targeting the medevacs, nice micro so far, nice pickup on the tank as well, though one does take some damage. And we're going to be seeing here Chick is continuing to actually not micro this towards the end, lifts up that tank, but he's going to be completely crushed here, and Bly is just going to turn this away very easily, more than enough units to shut this down, push his opponent back, and Chick is on the retreat here right away. And game number 2, I mean, this just hasn't worked out very well for him, and because he's gone for this tank-based follow-up and not gotten damage done, he's not in a great position. His upgrades are delayed because he goes for tanks instead of faster upgrades behind it. His third base is only just moving out into position now. He does have tanks to fall back on and rely on already, which is nice, but at the same time, he definitely hasn't done what he needs to get done here, I don't think. Although that being said, maybe he has, because I mean the work count for Bly isn't great. So while he didn't do a lot of damage and while he did get cleaned up easily, his economy is still very good actually. He's forced a lot of units out of Bly. He's actually even on workers with Triple Mule now on the map. So as long as he can hold this off and make up for that lost army, which he just lost obviously, then he should be, he might actually be okay as the game goes on. But if he dies right now, that could be where the problem comes in, as we're going to see, is there enough Marines to protect these siege tanks? Well, that is the question that's on our minds, as we're going to see one tank pulls up to the high ground, another tank ready to siege towards the back. Lings continue to stream in, there's more tanks as he pulls to this right hand side. He's got more siege tanks to rely on there, another nice pickup. That one to the south side will go down, but a lot of these roaches starting to fall. SCVs will be pulled in as well. Chick will try and hold on for as long as possible, and honestly, he will clean this up, so this is not so bad. I mean, he cleans this up. Bly loses a fair amount of army himself there. Obviously, Chick loses a fair amount too, but now Bly has to sort of stop attacking. As we see that Overlord going down, we're going to be seeing the third base under attack by just a single Zergling, so nothing too major. As we're going to be seeing the Roach Ravagers just going to regroup. There's still a good tank count here. If he can get his tanks in the right places, then he can defend this. But that's also one of, kind of one of the problems here on Galactic Process, because the Zerg can so easily shuffle between the third base and the natural, it's very hard to always have the tank in the exact right position, and not just one tank, but multiple tanks in the right location, which is sort of what Chick needs. He needs multiple tanks in the right place. Nice little run by here by a few roaches, already going to pick off 2 SCVs and counting, as we see more and more going down. Just target firing a few here, and as we see the Marines stimming in once again. I'm just going to be continuing to trade with those roaches. The roaches continuing to go down. I'm just going to be seeing the Marines and Marauders continuing up once again. And still lots of tanks though, so I mean, still we're sort of in a situation here where, yeah, some SCVs have started to go down, but Triple Mule, the game is a lot more even than I think it should be. Bly's committing to roach-based play. He's got Tunnel and Claws on the way now and Burrow, so he's going to be kind of burrowing roaches around the map. I was just going to be seeing a medevac boosting on over to the right-hand side, going to lift up another siege tank. And one tank there from Chick, going to start moving forwards down towards the bottom left side. Now we're going to see some roaches and ravagers. They're going to come in and they're going to start taking down these rocks. They're going to start taking some rocks down and running on in towards the third base. So, big counterattack, and actually, well, Chick, I mean, is obviously moving across the map here. So, he's not in the best situation to defend this, and in fact, he won't defend this. He'll just go across the map and attack himself. So, it comes down to a little bit of a base trade here, as Bly is going to go up against, well, Terran, who's kind of walling off already. I mean, the problem is that Bly's just got such a head start on the base trade, so he's already got time to mass up some units at home to start slowing this down, for example. And that's something which just isn't going to be a possibility at all here for the Terran player. You see one siege tank out, that's not going to help. You see these Marines and Marauders stimming forward the tanks as well. And he'll do a good job. I mean, he will clean up. It's going to be an awkward situation on both sides of the map. But still, I just feel as though Bly's gotten such a good head start on this. Let's see where this goes. I mean, the Terran might be able to force a draw if he can stop mining. And that's always going to be one of the possibilities in this sort of situation. He needs to get a few units over here just to stop the mining on this third base. 17 more roaches in production. He needs to stick around on this hatchery, I think, because he needs to pick off as many roaches as possible as they pop out and just stop them from gathering together. Now, that being said, they are only roaches. And, ooh, well, actually, the burrow is going to be very useful. Now, the tanks! Now, they're going to go down very quickly there, so that's a big loss for MSK. Rolls his SCVs across the map. More units coming back home. You're going to see a scan going down. Bly will take some free damage here on the roaches while the bio is able to fight it while they're burrowed. You're going to be seeing units from the right hand side as well. And it just looks as though Bly is going to converge on this army and just have too much. I like the little bit of a move here, which is to run up this ramp and to just try and make the fight only happen from one angle. It's definitely going to work for him. But the sheer numbers of Bly's army now is just going to be way too much. Bly left a few units across the map as well just to make sure mining doesn't return for the Terran player. And Bly's going to clean on out over here. Our Ukrainian player is going to take the first series of the day with a clean, simple 2-0. As Chick starts to fall back home, but he's really got not much to rely on at all. He's got command centers landed to scan, but obviously they're not near any sort of mineral lines. He's got 5 SCVs remaining. They're mostly in the main base here, and they'll go down very soon if they try to leave or anything. As Bly just goes across the map again, and medevacs, I mean, there's not even that much in these medevacs anymore. 1 tank, 1 Marine, and 1 Marauder starting to come on over and head in towards third base. We're going to see the tank goes down quickly, and I mean, the last couple of units go down. And now Chick doesn't have anything to play with. GG is typed out, and Bly is going to take the first